Yeah, listen, I know we had the early snow. Believe me, I know we had the early snow. Yeah, and now the snow's gone, but you still have the leaves. I know the leaves weigh like 800 pounds. You still got to rake them up. No, you're not getting a raise. You still have to pick up the leaves. I don't care how much they weigh. Hey, I gotta go. All right. Hey, welcome to season 6, episode 22 of Niagara 411 Live with Lee Sterry. Kevin, I don't know if you can see this or not, but we have like a little waterfall going on up here, way up there. See, it's like, it's not exactly Niagara Falls, but it's close. Anyway, welcome to the show. We are brought to you by Grantham Home Hardware, supported by Niagara Parks Commission, Vera Wellness, as well as Ace Alignment, Verge Insurance, Mac Outpost, powered by WeeStreem. We're going to talk about more of that in a little minute. We are at Fiddler's Poorhouse, 149 St. Paul Street in downtown St. Catharines, as everything's melting around us. And these are your specials, ladies and gentlemen, for today. We have got, as always, I was going to say we have an interesting show for you today, but that would not be unique, because we have an interesting show for you every single day here. Oh, man. It's just a little bit damp and chilly. Thank goodness that it stopped snowing, though. Where were you when the snow came down on November 10th and 11th? Remembrance Day ceremonies. Thank you all for your service, past and present. We're going to be talking a little bit more about that, because there were obviously Remembrance Day services that took place all around Niagara, of which our technical advisor and executive producer company was a part of, and we want to acknowledge those ceremonies that took place yesterday here in Niagara, of which there are many. Anytime you have a municipality like this that has 12 different and separate municipalities, including the region, there are a lot of things that are going on, and we shall check out a lot of them here on Niagara 411 Live with Lee Sterry in about 30 seconds. Stick around. Here we go, ladies and germs. Grantham Home Hardware, Niagara Parks Commission, Vera Wellness, Ace Alignment, Verge Insurance Group, Mac Outpost. Thank you very much, as per usual, for supporting this show. One of the things we want to do right away, first of all, as you're watching this stream on Niagara 411, hey, to Nick, by the way, and all of you supporters of that Facebook page, Niagara 411, as you're viewing this, we would appreciate you just going to that little refresh arrow, you know, at the top where you do that stuff, and you will see that we are, there we are, streaming. So then we would request that you share that, okay? And then you don't have to make a comment or anything. It's easy. You just do share now, and that will help us help you connect with all of Niagarans here and anybody interested in Niagara around the world. So what we want to start with today is something that is going on right now, as a matter of fact, and it's a pretty serious happening. There's a fire in Wainfleet, and Kevin and I were just talking about this and viewing the information that we had, which isn't a lot of information, but it's some, before we came on the program. So this started a couple of hours ago. It says Wainfleet fire claims 1 life. All right, so today at approximately 12:30, that's 12:30 this morning, like midnight this morning, Niagara Regional Police called to a Wainfleet address for a structure fire call. Wainfleet Fire and Emergency Services were battling a blaze on Forks Road between Youngs Road North and Morag Road. NRPS assisted with road closures to allow the fire operations. They have to put that stuff in there. Now, I realize it's kind of detail you don't need, but They have to do that officially. During the incident, now here's where it gets interesting and a little distressing and macabre. During the incident, an adult male victim was located with significant burn injuries and was taken to an area hospital where he is listed in critical but stable condition. Good. But then, firefighters discovered the body of a person inside the structure. And this is to give you an idea, it's disturbing. This is the line that is bothersome. The age and sex of the person is currently unknown. That person must have been obviously seriously incinerated. The scene is being held by police for the Office of the Fire Marshal to attend and process the scene with the assistance of the NRPS Forensic Services Unit. The cause of the fire, along with the cause of death, are yet to be determined. The roads have since been reopened. Okay, so it's very rare, Kevin, that we find a victim of fire inside a structure, i.e. house, apartment, whatever, that's unidentifiable. Even the sex of this person is unidentifiable. That's pretty gruesome when you think about that.
Yeah,
so
I'm the same as you, Lee. It kind of jumped off the page and said, hold on a second, you don't know.
Yeah, like, wait a minute, we don't even...
The age, okay, I understand that, but the gender?
Yeah.
Like I said, and if there was one person that came out that was badly burned, critical condition, but then there's somebody that is so badly burned that we don't know their gender, I don't know what's the story that tells, right? That's what everybody's trying to...
Well, that's the thing. First of all, it's the intensity of what that fire must have been to deliver that result of someone inside the structure that's completely unidentifiable. The intensity of that blaze must have been off the charts. And then the cause, and like if... I guess what I'm saying is, if you walk back the story from what we know, you walk back, where did this horrible thing get its genus? Where did it start and why? Like, wow, that's pretty amazing. Kevin, what does it take? And I know I'm asking a rhetorical question because I know you don't know really the details, but imagine what it takes for a human being to be in such a state that it's unidentifiable even by gender in the... And I mean, our fire response teams do a good job in Niagara. They respond very quickly to calls. I'm not putting any shade on the response of the firefighters in any way, shape, or form, or the fire departments, because they do they do a really good job. So what kind of inflagration needs to take place for that to happen so fast? It has to be pretty intense. Is it explosion? Is it chemicals? Is it, like, what was in that house?
Yeah, and I'm just showing on the map here, Lee, this is the section of Forks Road. They said it was between Morog and Youngs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is the stretch here. If you're familiar with driving along Forks and wondering to yourself, where exactly? So I don't know, it was one of these structures. And they didn't elaborate on that, but I mean, you could see I'm on your left is Morog.
At the risk of repeating myself, and I know I am, the intensity of that heat, of that flame, that explosion, that fire, whatever you want, whatever the genus of it was, wow, it's got to be intense.
There you go. I mean, these are one of the recognizable places there, Hammer Equipment. So in that neck of the woods, and again, not associating that company with anything that happened here, just saying that's that's the part of Forks Road that we're talking about in the southern portion of
that's
right
something,
by the Winfleet Bog. But wow,
that's probably the largest current mystery that is unfolding, even as we speak here in Niagara. Crazy.
And of course, Lee, our condolences to the families and friends that are affected.
Absolutely.
You forget that while we're sitting here trying to speculate, there's people that have already been contacted that are mourning and grieving today. So, our hearts to them.
Absolutely. Let's talk about something else that is of a very recent vintage, and that is our Remembrance Day ceremonies that took place around Niagara yesterday, and we were unable to address them until now because, of course, our show didn't happen until now. But Kevin was honored, and WeeStreem, Kevin and his partner Brandon Scram were honored to have been streaming various Remembrance Day ceremonies around the region. Kevin?
So here we are. This is some of our coverage yesterday in Niagara Falls, which we also shared on Niagara 411 for anybody for whatever reason couldn't get out there. And I understand weather would be a pretty contributing factor yesterday.
Look at the snow.
There was snow everywhere. This is Fairview Cemetery off Stanley in Niagara Falls yesterday morning. The snow stopped at about 10:30. The ceremony got underway at 10:45. So that was a blessing, and the sun came out just in time to make it, I'll say, somewhat tolerable. Yeah. But it was beautiful down there. They always do a good job of remembering, and you can see there in that photo, there are 2 new monuments that were unveiled yesterday, and I believe one is to the veterans of the Afghanistan War.
Okay.
And I forget the other, but they are between 2001 and 2014. The monuments themselves are quite modern and quite moving. They're pretty cool. And Mayor Jim Diodati did an unveiling. There you see the tomb of the unknown soldier.
Right.
And WeeStreem very happy to be bringing this for, the 5th, 6th year, something like that. We were also in Port Colborne. I'll see if I can drum that up and show a little bit of Port Colborne's coverage. I'm not sure why all municipalities don't stream the Remembrance Day ceremonies, but we're very happy to be partnered
Absolutely.
with the City of Port Colborne and the City of Niagara Falls to bring this coverage. And I think yesterday at last look had 28,000 views or something like that. So,
right.
You want to justify the idea of broadcasting your events. Hey, 28,000 people got to enjoy an event, and Niagara
that they
Falls
wouldn't have been able to attend.
Probably 500 or 600 strong there yesterday.
And as per usual, I know I've hosted, not hosted, I have emceed on the radio a few of those that take place at the Cenotaph here in St. Catharines, just at the end of St. Paul Street. And you usually end up with a couple of hundred people that attend that, but when you think that there could be 20, 30,000 people that could enjoy it if that ceremony were streamed every year would be significant, absolutely. And again, we acknowledge those who served, including my father, and those who continue to serve our freedom, which is really what they are serving and have served over the many years. I saw a show the other day, and it was a little disturbing. These things at this time of year always come about, and you learn something. Now we all are aware of what they called. We refer to it as the Korean War, but in the day they referred to it as the Korean conflict, and it took place in the 50s. Kind of well after World War II. And this broadcast that I watched was entitled The Forgotten War. And for those people that have anything or had anything, or their ancestors had anything to do with the Korean conflict, you are not forgotten. But oftentimes in these ceremonies, for some reason, that Korean conflict, it kind of goes unmentioned.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know, Lee, that about 2 or 3 years ago, the City of Niagara Falls actually unveiled a monument specific to the Korean conflict or the Korean War. And there were many, I want to say hundreds of delegates from Korea that came to Niagara Falls specifically for the unveiling. So that is prominent and it is part of their ceremony as well, to acknowledge everybody that served in that conflict.
I didn't know that, but kudos to Niagara Falls for doing that. In spite of all of the stuff that is going on in world news, one of my favorite cities to visit, my wife and I feel just fabulous every time. I think we've been there 3 times by now, is, and don't get angry with me for this, is Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is, if you've never been there, and after the orange era is over, you may want to take a visit. one of the truly most moving places to be because of the number of monuments. It's probably the monument capital of the world. The Washington Monument, the Jefferson Monument, the Lincoln Memorial, the Vietnam Memorial Wall, so many. And the last time we visited Washington, D.C., there was a new memorial display of the Korean conflict. And it was so incredibly moving. It's a field of soldiers walking through, well, a field. But they are all so lifelike. It takes up maybe half an acre, and it's amazing. So when all the political dust settles, and you have an opportunity, it's not that far to go from here, have an opportunity to actually visit the memorials and the museums, which are all free. All the museums and everything, even the Holocaust Museum, which is incredibly impactful, they are all free entrance. You pay nothing to go through these places in Washington. It really is a special place to see if you have an opportunity.
Now, Lee, you were mentioning that, speaking of world politics and what have you, it's kind of focused in Niagara, at least yesterday and today.
Yeah, in the opening statements of the G7 leaders, the G7 foreign ministers meeting took place in Niagara-on-the-Lake last night. And today, even as we speak, Canada has welcomed the G7 ministers in the Niagara region. The Honorable Anita Anand, Minister of Foreign Affairs, our Minister of Foreign Affairs, has brought together G7 partners to discuss global challenges and strengthen international collaboration. Tariffs are not on the agenda, but security, prosperity, economic resilience are on the topics of discussion. Participants are included the G7 members, which is France, Germany, Italy, Japan, United Kingdom, United States, and the European Union, and of course Canada. Invited countries included Australia, Brazil, India, scroll up there, Kev, if you would, for me. Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Republic of Korea, South Africa, and Ukraine. Ukraine is going to be one of the big topics that the foreign ministers discussed today, and we would just like to welcome all of those dignitaries and all of those people and their entourages and their support staff and teams, etc., to Niagara, because it's wonderful that we have you here. It's nice to have been highlighted as a place worthy of visitors internationally and leaders of foreign affairs from around the world, and the G7 in particular, here to Niagara-on-the-Lake. So welcome. We hope it is productive, and we look forward to hearing some of the results of those conversations.
Now, Lee, still pretty secretive as to their exact location. Niagara-on-the-Lake, I want to guess maybe White Oaks?
Yeah,
but it's not a large gathering, right? It's the G7 and, of course, their entourage.
Yeah, but G7, but you've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more countries that are invited, plus their interpreters or whatever. So we've got probably 20, 30 people.
Anybody know in and around the old town, like the bunch of black tinted SUVs driving around town now?
Yeah.
Where are they all congregating? If so, that's where they are.
Are we actually in Niagara-on-the-Lake proper, or are we on the outskirts, as Kevin mentioned, like White Oaks, or out in that technically Niagara-on-the-Lake area, but closer? I wouldn't put it past them to do White Oaks, because it's so accessible to transportation. It's right there at the highway. So,
yeah.
But anyway, we don't know that it's there, and we don't know and maybe it was by design that they did not let people know where they are, because there would be protests and perhaps some traffic issues involved with that. But anyway, the G7 foreign ministers meeting here in Niagara-on-the-Lake throughout the day.
Now, Lee, coming up later on the program, a couple of international politics stuff to get to, including you were following this story this morning that a bunch, I want to say in the hundreds of emails were now made public involving Jeffrey Epstein. President Trump's name has come up. We'll talk about that. And then also Prince Andrew and how that might impact us here at home.
Yeah.
So those stories are coming up. But want to get to this one as well. I'll throw it up here because a lot of people were following this on 411, and it's just a lovely story.
It is indeed. This came up on Niagara 411, and again, thanks to the Nick and Niagara 411 and the community, including yourselves, that help people reconnect. And this is just a prime example of how powerful the internet and the media and Facebook and these sites can be used for good. They are powerfully used for evil as well, but they can be powerful, positive tools. Hi there. I'm not sure you can help me with this, but I'm in a peculiar situation, and I'm hopeful someone might know my dad. My dad and I both struggled with addiction, and that separated us mentally and physically. For some time, I wasn't able to contact him due to his partner. I am now 3 years sober. I'm my dad's only child. This year, my grandma sent him his birthday card to the address she always does with his partner, and it was returned to sender. We eventually found out he had moved, so I'm unable to contact him. Filed a missing persons report, and the police found him, his address, and his phone number, and told him we want to see him. He said he was okay with us contacting him. On the line, I am soon, Kevin, we have Valerie.
Yeah, we do.
Ready to go, is the lady that wrote that post. Valerie Catharine has reconnected with her dad. Hey, Valerie, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Kevin, I could use a little bit more volume if you have.
I think any way you could turn that up on your end, Valerie? I know you got a sophisticated setup over there from the looks of it,
great.
and we're not getting a whole lot of level from you.
The thing is do I know how to use it?
Okay.
Oh, here, let me see if I can turn up. Oh, here, you know what? I could probably do it on my end. There you go. I think I tricked the system.
I think we got you, Val.
How's that?
Still pretty low. That's all right. You can tell we do this live.
Yeah, we do this live, so all these little glitches
Here, Lee, you know what?
are all cool.
I'll let you finish reading.
I turned up my first input. How does that sound?
Okay.
Okay, could you turn that up any more? And then I can let you
So
finish.
I'll continue to read what Valerie posted here. So I tried to call him, but his phone number is disconnected. My aunt and I went to his apartment and buzzed his unit, and we have multiple times, but he is hard of hearing, so likely isn't hearing it. My aunt has also sent him a letter, but we don't know if he even checks his mailbox routinely or not. I really want to see my dad. He lives on Center Street in downtown St. Catharines, and his name is Paul Beckett. If anyone who knows him currently is able to tell him his family really wants to see him. And we're going to try Valerie again. Hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Any better?
I'll just have to listen more carefully. First of all,
I'm trying something else. How's that?
it's okay. We got music in the background too that's making me crazy. But
Okay.
all right. First of all, that's a hell of a for a guy in the media business. That's a hell of a microphone you got going on there.
So my partner Kyle is a musician,
Ah,
and I have a podcast, so we were ready to go.
well, that explains it. First of all, Valerie, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
First of all, it's one of the things that drew Kevin and I to do this program is the community that becomes a community that didn't even know it was a community with this Niagara 411 thing. The confluence of people getting together and by geometrically connecting, amazing things can be accomplished. And one of them is the reunion that took place with you and your dad. And before we get to that, though, I think we would all be interested, if you don't mind, telling us your story. What is Valerie's story?
Yeah. So I'm born and raised in St. Catharines. Yeah, it's a long story.
We have time.
Oh, great. Okay, so born and raised in St. Catharines. I went to Governor Simcoe. I was always involved in theater. I was a competitive dancer growing up. And as any teenager and family does, I think there were some tumultuous times in there that as well as some amazing, fantastic times. I don't want to, but unfortunately, some negative times that happen when you're growing up really affect your mind. And I experienced a few of those things. So when I lost, or when I decided to sort of give up the structure of competitive dance, I'd say, not largely, but I would say I kind of lost my way a little bit. But even prior to that, I drank from a young age. So like my early teens, I think alcoholism sort of ran in my family. From there, I did live in Australia for a couple years. So I did, like I said, I've had some great experiences in my life. But particularly after I had my son and I was dealing, I think, with postpartum depression is when my alcoholism started to spiral, and then that went into substance use as well. Eventually, it came to a point where I had to get sober. I had to. There was the way I wasn't going to live much longer doing what I was doing, and I know the people around me could see that. But I made the choice. I made the choice to go the route of recovery. So I had the privilege of being able to move, not that it's a bad thing to live in St. Catharines, but I moved to Niagara Falls. So I was able to take myself out of where I was primarily using. So I think I contribute that to a lot of my success. And as well, I have just a fantastic support system. Shout out to my brother and my sister, and my stepbrother and sister, and my mom and my stepdad and my aunt and my grandma, everyone. As soon as I chose to get sober, there are these small things that have been happening for the last 3 years I've been sober that I call gifts of sobriety, and it's a phrase commonly used in recovery. And I have a dog. That to me is a gift of sobriety because I couldn't have a dog when I was using. Right. And I think what happened. Making the choice to be vulnerable and share a bit of my story with Niagara, whom I know has so many folks affected by addiction, whether, all of us in Niagara know someone. You're either an addict or an addict. That's a fact in Niagara. Yeah. So I was hoping being vulnerable would pay off, and it certainly did. I couldn't have ever anticipated the just amount of love that I felt on that day. People were making comments saying about how they had seen him and fed him, and that to me, I can't even put into words the amount of relief I felt reading those words. All I could do was thank that person. I can't remember their name. Sorry.
And now we're talking about your dad now.
Yes. I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I went to.
No, that's okay. No, that's fine. Just I just think it's a very powerful story, and you have a very powerful message, and I don't want to lose any nuggets of that. Along the way. You mentioned, Valerie, that your tendency to addiction, and I do believe that there is something in the genetics of families or some people that it's almost an inherent thing. Not everyone is born with an addictive kind of personality, but a lot of people are. And it sometimes doesn't raise its ugly head until something is the catalyst for that happening. Now, you said that your addiction took really strong hold of you after you became a mom.
Yeah.
What became of, or has become, how is motherhood now? Your child, I mean, it's got to be kind of a struggle for your child through this too.
Yeah, my son is, kids are brilliantly resilient.
Yes, they are.
And I'm honest with my son. I use terms that he can understand. So when we refer to my addiction, he's 10. So when we refer to my addiction or that time of our lives, we talk about it as when I was sick.
Right.
And then because he can understand that. He can go, okay, that's when Mom was sick.
Gotcha.
And when I refer to my dad now, I go, well, you can't see him just yet because he's still sick.
Okay.
Because kids can understand that.
Yep.
And when he gets older, I've, given it tons and tons of thought, and it's something I'll probably never stop thinking about, is how do I approach this with him when he gets to be that age, right?
Sure.
And it's saying, yeah. So
Okay.
right now he is good.
Good. And I think that's a really, it feels to me anyway, not that I'm an expert or have any credentials to say so, but it feels to me like probably the right approach, because as we've heard over the years, alcoholism, drug addiction, any sort of addiction is a sickness.
Yes.
That has a solution, it has a cure, but it has no magic bullet drug to solve it. So
Exactly.
referring to it as a sickness is probably a good way to go, especially for a youngster. Okay, so now let's flash forward to what brought us together today,
Yeah.
which is your search for your dad. Now,
Yeah.
how and when did that search start, and walk us through that part of the story.
Okay. So that started in the summer, around August, after his birthday card was returned.
Of this year?
Of this year.
Okay.
Without getting too in the weeds, I was unable to. The huge conflict between his past partner and I, and it was just an unhealthy. So between that and the addiction, you have to set a healthy boundary, right?
Gotcha.
So, in my eyes, I'm unable to contact him when he's like that.
Right.
Or in that space, I should rather say. When he's in that space, I'm unable to, just for my own health. But that person also had me and my family believing he was still living there for the past 2 years.
Which is where?
In Thorold.
Okay.
So, I would drive past the house, be like, oh, there's Dad's house.
Right.
Thinking he's safe there. Okay. But little do we know he wasn't even there. He had been on Center Street for the past 2 years.
Okay.
So eventually, when the card got returned to sender, my aunt went to the Ontario Works office to try and get a hold of him.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't give us information, fair enough. So we had to go the route of filing a missing persons report, which was a lot. That's really scary.
Yeah.
Because at that point, there was 3 days where it was like, well, where is he? If he's not there, where did he go? And we know he's not a very mobile person.
Right.
So eventually the police officer located him, found his address, checked on him, got his phone number, told us he was okay, gave us all the information. But what the police officer didn't do was make sure that his phone was connected to to anything.
Okay.
So he had a phone and he had a phone number, but it wasn't hooked up to a cell service.
Gotcha.
So the buzzer at the apartment isn't connected to anything.
Right. Sure.
So, and my aunt and I were not sure. Routinely, my aunt would go there and try the buzzer and leave voicemails, and she wrote him a letter, like I said in my email. She did that for a few months, and then it came to a point where I was like, well, where the hell is he? Why can't we get a hold of this man?
Yeah.
And I left it in the public's hands.
And that's
But
when
what
you
ended
reached out to 411?
Yes, and that is when I reached out to Niagara 411. And from there, like I said about all of the comments and the messages I got, it was like I truly cannot express the gratitude or the kindness that was gifted to me on that day. What ended up happening was I just, thanks to all the comments, I just got emboldened to just go to his door and knock.
Because you found out he had a new door.
Yes, so I went to the new apartment and I got in, and I just knocked at the door, and out he came, and I gave him a big hug, and now I have his phone number set up. But while I was there, his housing caseworker knocked on the door, and she had seen the post. So had I have not gone to the door, she was going to contact me as well. So
Wow.
it worked both ways,
Wow.
every way it could have.
So it's nice to know that our agencies and work, as well as the community we're talking about now.
Yes.
Before that time, how long had it been since you'd actually seen your father?
I probably hadn't seen him in 4 or 5 years.
And yet you sent regular cards, et cetera, but it was when the card was returned that was the red flag for you.
Yes.
Okay, so how is he doing now? You mentioned that you and your father shared the struggle with addiction. How is he doing now?
He is, he's my dad.
Yeah, I get it.
That's,
I get it.
If anybody watching here knows my dad, Paul, he's born and raised St. Catharines. He was a mechanic for many years, very proud mechanic. He's my dad. I don't think where he's at there's going to be any sort of changing of his habits. But I do know that with my involvement, certainly there can be an improvement of his quality of life. And for my son's sake, I'm hopeful because my son and my dad they're the same. They're very similar personality-wise, so it's, the goal is to get them together.
I was going to ask you, have they met yet?
They met when my son was a baby, and 4 or 5 years ago. But my son doesn't really remember.
Right, but there hasn't been a reunion. There hasn't been a reunion of those two yet.
Not yet. I'm gonna get my dad like a shave and a haircut first.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. And you're doing. You seem like you are doing absolutely incredibly
Thank you.
I don't even know you, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. It really does. It's been with addiction. I think once it's really. How do I put this? It's really hard to appreciate addiction and its what it can do and its impacts to families and on your own person. Mm-hmm. It really takes, appreciating the other side or appreciating some clarity.
Yeah, Valerie, one of the
Yeah,
I'm going to ask you a question that's really probably unfair because it's not really your area of expertise, except for the fact that you have a unique perspective. We have a conversation that's going on in communities around the world, and including our communities here in Niagara, that being homelessness. And there are so many people that think it's a quick fix. Build a house and somebody's going to live in it. And yet, I'm well aware enough over the years of being in the media and being in touch with this topic that there are many, many factors, many influences, many reasons why we have a homeless issue. Some of it is mental health, some of it is addiction, some of it is just disenfranchisement. There are many, many factors, and of course there's no one solution for this multi-headed monster that we have, that we're dealing with. From your unique perspective, what do you think of, or how does it make you feel, or what is your reaction when you hear these conversations about our homelessness issue here in Niagara and elsewhere? What do you think about that?
I think there's no simple answer to a complicated question, as you said, and there's a lot of nuance as well, to echo what you said there. It's definitely tough. One thing I do want to say, and I would say it does pertain to being unhoused would be about like the stigma that comes with addiction. I think until there are adequate supports for opiate addicts and the most vulnerable impacted by addiction, then all forms of addiction will continue to run rampant, like throughout the world, pretty much. And that is a part of what can lead to being unhoused. But hearing some people, when I was a competitive dancer, we had a turn of phrase in regards to watching your competitors in the audience. And it was, never say something mean about who's on stage, because you never know if someone's grandma is sitting behind you or if someone's aunt's sitting beside you.
Right.
Right. So I think a lot of times when people are talking about, the unhoused in public spaces or addiction or different areas that are stigmatized, they're not realizing that perhaps the person next to them could be affected by that and know someone. It could genuinely, it's my dad. I hear those conversations all the time.
Valerie, thank you so much for
you.
joining us today. It's been an illuminating conversation. Lovely young woman. Congratulations on your journey.
Thank
As
you.
they say, it's the journey, not necessarily the destination. But in spite
That's
of
right.
that, it seems like you're in a pretty good place right now, and I'm happy about that. And good luck with the progress with the relationship with your dad and your son. And we wish you nothing but the best. And thank you for your perspective. It's very important.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. And thank you again to Niagara 411 and our wonderful community for helping me with this. I can't express my gratitude enough.
Nice job on the production, by the way. You're a pro.
Shout out to Kyle McDonald.
All right. Thanks, Valerie.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a great time. Wow. Kevin, powerful story. Powerful story.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Great perspective. I mean, I think you said that too many times, but
I know.
it's not often that we get to talk openly about addiction with somebody who has lived it.
Yeah.
And come out the other side. And I mean,
and
quite eloquent. She's got a head on her shoulders.
smart. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which goes to another point in the fact that people that are suffering through addiction or some sort of mental health issues are not necessarily underachievers. This young woman has obviously achieved great things in her life as a competitive dancer and other things, so it just doesn't, you can't segment society into people that are or aren't. I mean, it affects all different levels of our community. Our sponsors, we've spent a lot of time without talking about them over the last little while. Homegrown quality from coast to coast. Grantham Home Hardware, thank you very much for being our keynote sponsor of this program. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian, and by all means check out Grantham Home Hardware. Talk to Jake and Rob, the two principals there. We can't thank them enough for being a part of the show, and it's one of the things that we pride ourselves on here at Niagara 411 Live with Sterry is all of our sponsors have the same sort of concept that we do, and that is for Niagara, in Niagara. And let's move on to our other folks. The Niagara Parks Commission has just jumped on board with us over the last couple of months or so, and it's just absolutely spectacular to have them here because once again, judging their scope by our scope, everything Niagara. There's, I think it is 56 kilometers of Niagara Parkway and all of the attractions that are along that route that the Niagara Parks Commission is responsible for. And yeah, the Winter Festival of Lights is going to be coming up. And man, if you've never done this, you must have been living under a rock because we do it every year. We've had our family visiting from time to time as well from out west, and we take the kids all the time. And it's absolutely awesome. So watch for the Festival of Lights coming up very, very shortly. And Niagara Takes Flight that is the newest attraction that the Niagara Parks Commission launched over the last couple of months, and it's a year-round attraction, so look after it. Vera Wellness is trauma-focused care. This is our newest sponsor. They offer a holistic, trauma-informed approach to therapy, focusing on helping clients rediscover themselves and navigate life's challenges with resilience, founded on principles of being approachable, relatable, and flexible. Mika Matthews is the licensed and accredited psychotherapist that started this business. This is her home, and this is what she does. And we're so very, very pleased that Vera Wellness is now a part of our family here. Ace Alignment, just over here on North Street, off Geneva Street, behind the police station. What they do, that's what you see right there, specializing in wheel alignments, brakes, suspension, MTO inspection, accreditation if you need it, front end alignments, etc. Just about anything automotive, or whatever automotive contraption you might have in your garage or your driveway. Head mechanic Darren Miller, senior mechanic Matt Crompton, owner-operator Janice Wilpritty, sticking with us as well over the hills and dales of outrageous fortune. Thank you, Ace Alignment. Verge Insurance Group, Mark Shirt and his bunch. Auto, home, business, life. They are brokers, which means that they will find you that company that will serve you and your needs for whatever you need. And at a price you can afford. Just over here on Ontario Street, in business here in Niagara since 1953. So check them out if you think you want to revisit an insurance situation that you currently have, or you need a new one. Home, auto, business, life, and Mac Outpost. We can't say enough about these guys. All this technology that you are witnessing right now. This guy here, this guy here, the cameras that I'm staring into at the moment, and that Kevin is massaging into bring you this program. Everything is Apple powered. It is the Appleverse, and for everything Apple in Niagara, if we depend on them, you sure as hell can. Apple authorized reseller and service provider located in St. Catharines in the North End on Lake Street, across from Don's Lighting and the Dollar Tree Plaza where Tim Hortons is in the North End. Check them out just north of where the Queenie meets Lake Street. So thank you. Sean, owner, head tech Derek, you guys are the best. And you don't need to go anyplace else if you are a member of the Apple Verse. Now, this is something else that came out this morning, and normally we do not do national or international stories, except it kind of ties in with a little teeny weeny story here in St. Catharines. So this story came out this morning in that there was a memo released, or a couple of memos, but one in particular.
There you go. Here's a lot of the short facts. It looks like 23,000 pages of documents, and obviously, the Democrats cherry-picked a few, and the Republicans are saying you cherry-picked. And
all right, so let me read this for those people that are just doing the audio part of the podcast. I'll read this so that you can understand what the hell it is we're talking about. A committee of lawmakers in the U.S. has released 23,000 pages of documents from Jeffrey Epstein's estate, including some that reference President Trump. Democrats in the House Oversight Committee released 3 email exchanges before Republicans on the committee released a much bigger tranche of documents. One of the 3 exchanges released by Democrats is between Epstein as well as his associate Ghislaine Maxwell, who is in jail right now. An email from Epstein to Maxwell in 2011 read, "I want you to realize that dog that hasn't I want you to realize that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. The victim spent hours at my house with him." That's the one that has lit this on fire today. The Democrats say the emails strike a blow against the White House Epstein cover-up. Trump has consistently denied any wrongdoing and called it a fake narrative and The White House also says the victim referenced in the Epstein-Maxwell emails is the late Virginia Giuffre, who repeatedly said President Trump was not involved in any wrongdoing whatsoever. So anyway, the debate goes on. But where where the rubber hits the road here in Niagara is that one of the discussed associations with the Jeffrey Epstein story is Prince Andrew. Now, whether you are a monarchist or not a monarchist, this has been a story that has been going on for a while, and they pretty much stripped this guy. We can talk about this, it's another thing. Stripped this man of any and all of his titles. I don't know how you do that necessarily, but again, more on that one later. But where this comes to Niagara, where this funnels into Niagara, is here in St. Catharines. There's a little street called Prince Andrew Court. Kevin has the map, the aerial map up there on the screen. So, here's the debate. It's not far from Port Dalhousie, it's in the north end. And actually, it's not too far from my house, I don't think. No, it isn't, because I can see my house from here. Anyway, that's an old joke. Prince, one which will not be repeated here. Prince Andrew Court. So, here we go. Andrew Windsor, for the lack of a better name, has been stripped of all titles and all rights, etc., as per the royal family, his lineage. So here's the question that has come up before. It has come up officially before council, hasn't it, Kevin?
I don't know
Or
that it's
will it
ever.
be?
I don't know. I don't know if they've ever discussed it. And I mean,
Well, I think it will be.
Do you
You got-
change Prince Charles Drive to King Charles Drive? I don't know about that. I mean, and it's right
No,
off
no,
of Prince
because
Charles.
because Prince Charles was a Prince Charles. He was the Prince of Wales, etc. When it was named, etc. And but we now have still Prince Andrew Court. Do we rename that? Should it no longer be? What do you think? Or like, is it just a street name and it's going to screw up the addresses and mail of anybody that lives on the street?
Could you drop the Prince? Could you just go to Andrew Court?
Andrew Court? I don't know, but do you still want to be associated with this dude on any level?
I mean,
Does it-
Andrew
does it
itself
really-
is
does it really
innocuous, isn't it?
Does it really matter?
I mean, I know that.
The crazy thing about it is, I am married to a woman from England. She was born in London, came over here in 1964 with the Beatles, but they threw her out of the band, so that's another story.
That's an even older joke.
Yeah. Anyway, the thing is, Prince Andrew, or I guess we're just calling him Andrew, was always known, and I'm not making light of sexual harassment or trafficking by any stretch of the imagination, so don't go there. You can keep your letters or comments to yourself on that one. But he was known, he truly was always known as Randy Andy. That was his nickname, because he was a pretty good-looking young man, and he liked to party a little bit, and he always kind of enjoyed his privileges as a prince, because he knew he was never going to be king, because he was the younger brother of what's his name, the king. And he was always known as the Queen's favorite. Those two things. Andrew was always known as the Queen's favorite, and he had the nickname Randy Andy. So, as they say, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. So now here we are.
So I'll throw it to you, Lee. What do you think? Do you think they should?
Well,
I'll go right ahead and say yes. I do think they should.
I was going to say I tend to agree with you. If this is the way, if this is the official position of the monarchy, Buckingham Palace, and King Charles, I believe we should alter the name of this street, because this is, to let it remain there, is giving him undue acknowledgement for his status as a part of the royal family governing Canada.
And your suggestion sounds like it's Randy Andy Boulevard, or would you stay Court? Should we just call it Mountbatten? Mountbatten Court?
I don't know. Windsor Way?
Oh, we'll see. We'll see if anybody picks this up and brings it before council, be it a citizen or a councilor. Who knows? Who knows, Lee? Coming up, it's like an annual tradition here in Niagara. We've got the Rotary Auction just around the corner, so let's get into some of that.
Do we have Tawny?
We do. We have Tawnya.
Okay. Tawnya Hartford is the Marketing and Communications Chair of Rotary Niagara Auction, and it's coming up November 26th to December the 6th. It's one of their premier fundraisers every single year, and we'd love to welcome Tawny to the program. Hi, Tawny. Can you hear us loud and clear?
Hi, Lee. Yep, I can hear you.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, welcome to the show. Congratulations.
Lee, I'm just going to right out of the gate. This is my friend Tawnya.
Did I say
That's
Tawnya?
Yeah, I think so.
Tawnya.
Tawnya.
Whatever, it's a nickname.
I'm sorry, I just forgot the A. I apologize.
That's okay. I've been called worse.
All right. Well, we call this a live show, and all the foibles, good and bad, show up. So, Tawnya, let me welcome you to the show again.
Thanks, Lee.
Okay. So, how many years now has this auction been going? Oh, no, we lost your volume.
Oh, can you not hear me?
I can now.
Oh, yeah, we've been, the Rotary Auction's been over 30 years. We can't keep count of how many years we've been doing this. So, there's a number of clubs in Rotary all over the region that work together and do this Rotary Auction. So
that's what I was going to ask you. I know there are Rotary clubs in a number of our communities, and I wanted to ask you, so this is a collective effort from all the Rotary clubs in Niagara?
Not quite all of the Rotary clubs in Niagara, because there are quite a few.
Yeah.
It's 6 of the clubs. So we've got Fonthill, the 2 in Niagara Falls, which is Niagara, the original club, and then Niagara Falls Sunrise, which I'm a part of. 2 out of the 3 in St. Catharines, which is the St. Catharines Club, and then St. Catharines South, and then Welland. A few of our other clubs, Fort Erie and Niagara on the Lake, they don't participate because they have other events. Everybody knows a bit about the historic house tours in Niagara on the Lake, so that's a big event for them that kind of coincides at the same time. So
yeah, so 30 years. That's quite a legacy.
Over
now.
30 years. I don't even know what the actual. I don't think we even know what the actual count is of how many years we've been doing this.
Now, how was the original one conducted? Was it? I know it went on radio for quite some time. But
we had it on radio. We moved it to TV. We were on Cogeco for quite a number of years.
Yeah.
We did, people would call in and we'd answer phones. We'd have one of those almost like in the mall or at Cogeco or at different places where phone banks of people, Rotary members and volunteers answering the phone. And we'd take bids on pieces of paper and they'd run them up to a board and take the pictures.
The internet is a wonderful thing because it gives us an opportunity to reach way beyond what our original goal might have been. But those days of doing those phone banks and all of that, that was a fun time because people had a chance to actually get excited by being to one another and answering phones. You'd hear phones ringing and all this stuff. And that was pretty exciting back in those days.
It was very energetic, and it was great to be around Rotarians and volunteers. And we'd have exchange students come in and we'd interview them and talk about where they were from. And it was always fun to be, part of the Rotary Auction back then. But it's still fun now.
Yeah, I remember hosting a bunch of those things back in the day. But anyway, enough living in the past. Tell us how this is going to work and tell us about what's going on with this auction coming up.
Well, with technology too, again, we can do more things. We've been online now with the Rotary Auction for over 5 years, and we get more items, and that's more money that we get to give back to the community. So all of our proceeds go back to mostly community initiatives here in Niagara. We do fund some international projects. I know right now we are sending money directly to Kingston, Jamaica, for some of the devastation in Jamaica and in the Caribbean. So we tend to, with Rotary members, we tend to take Rotary money and give it right down to a Rotary club, because then they know what is needed in those areas and the areas of devastation. So they are sending money directly down to the Kingston Rotary Club in Jamaica. yeah, so we give back to different organizations all over Niagara with these funds from the auction.
So it starts, the viewing starts on the 19th.
Wednesday
and,
the 19th.
And where do we go to do this?
So it's RotaryAuctionNiagara.com. We have pages you can follow us on social media. We're on Facebook and on Instagram. For promotions, we're going to be sneak peeking some of our big ticket items. You may even see some items that open during preview area. We've got a little bunny told me that we have some of those coveted Niagara House Tour, Niagara on the Lake House Tour tickets that may be coming to us early to be auctioned off early. So start checking us out on November the 19th and look at all the great items we have up for bid. And then the actual bidding begins November 26th and ends December 6th.
And you bid online at that same address?
You bid, yep, RotaryAuctionNiagara.com. And there's a spot where you can actually put your maximum bid in so that you don't have to follow it, and then it will give you notification when you've been outbid.
That is such a cool thing. The first time I was exposed to this, I can't even remember what the service club was. I don't know that it was Rotary, but I was in another city. I think I was in Winnipeg at the time when this concept came about. And we were one of the sponsors. My business is one of the sponsors of the club. So I went online to bid on a couple of things just to see how it worked. And it was so cool because the notifications come in, boom, giving you an update on a regular basis of what you're bidding on and how the items are going. I just think it's such a cool concept of what's happening today. It's just great.
Yeah, you can even flag like your favorite items. Like if there's certain items that you want to watch and you want to flag them to make sure that you don't get outbid, and you can have them set up on your homepage once you log in. So we're encouraging people to register early. If you're registered last year and you bid with us last year, then you should have a registration username and password. So we encourage people to go on now and register before the bidding actually takes place to get all set up and get ready.
Can we register before the viewing starts? Can we register?
Yes, you can start. You can start registering right now.
Cool. All right. So what are, just as a bit of a teaser, what are some of the highlight items that are up for auction this year that you're excited about?
Well, we always get some great hockey tickets, and we get some basketball tickets, and usually there's some big ticket items like possibly a furnace, or we have very generous restaurants in Niagara and some very great fine dining restaurants and lots of hotels here in Niagara Falls. We have donors that have donated to us for 20 plus years, so we're very excited to have them back and donating some great prizes. So,
how many items do you have in all? Do you know?
No count yet. I know last year we had over 1,400. So we're promoting, we should have at least 1,000 by the time auction comes up, but it could be even more than that. We are still taking donations, so if anybody's interested in donating, we're happy to accept it and put it up. So
I just looked at your screen again here, and then I realized I asked a question that's right out there in front of us. It says over 1,000 items. So
over 1,000.
Yeah, I guess I didn't need to ask that question, but anyway, that's me. The bidding starts, the viewing
November
starts on
26th.
the 16th?
19th.
Bidding starts when?
The 26th.
26th?
So it's a Wednesday. So
until when?
December 6th.
So you've got up, and does it go like right till midnight on December 6th?
Yes.
And then
I believe it actually goes till 9 o'clock on December the 6th.
9 o'clock. Okay.
9 o'clock.
Okay. So then the winners are posted online, or are they contacted?
They're contacted by email, because that's the system. The online system does it all for them.
Okay.
And then we have a warehouse. Our new warehouse is on 4th Avenue. We will post the address and give that information to all the winners.
Right.
And then they can start coming and picking them up on December 7th, which is a Sunday. And we've got pickup dates 7th, 8th, and 9th.
That's great.
That's
great.
Yeah.
What a great evolution of an old concept made new again. Tawnya, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck with the auction. We wish you and all of your Rotarian partners all the best. Thank you.
Thanks, Lee.
You're welcome. All right, Niagara 411 Live, November the 12th edition. That is the lovely, exotic, spare no expense set for Niagara 411 Live with Lee Sterry. Look at Look at how amazingly voluptuous and elegant that set is.
Yeah, you're overselling it, but yeah, if you ever wanted to see
I am
how
overselling it a bit, but we have fun, and the gang here at Fiddler's Poorhouse is just awesome. Dave McParian and his staff at letting us sort of get underfoot every couple of weeks. We really appreciate it. Food here is great, by the way, if you want to check it out. Kevin, WeeStream did, I want to take a moment out here to chat with you. WeeStream did two Remembrance Day services yesterday, right?
Yeah, we did two. We were in Port Colborne. We were also in Niagara Falls. It's been busy. We were doing some work for Lifelong Learning Niagara. You know what, at some point I should probably have Joan or somebody from LLN on the program to talk about what they do in the community.
Yeah.
These are people generally retirement age that want to continue to educate themselves. So you join this group, and they put on a fall series and a spring series of speakers. And for example, this week it was a Brock professor in the English department, and last week it was the head from Brock University of the oncology and viticulture department at Brock University, and they told us about, it was really informative, really delving into the difficulty and uniqueness of trying to grow wine grapes in our climate. So really interesting stuff. So did stuff for them. Yeah. And then trying to dial up here on Sunday, we did a lot of work for ballhockey.com and Napper up at Hague Bowl Arena, now decommissioned, no ice in there anymore.
I know, but we were talking about this offline, and you were pretty involved with that. You did some like on-air commentary, online commentary, et cetera, for that, right?
Yeah, very much so. Here, I'll see if I can what I can pull up here for you, Lee.
And we think about playing ball. People like me that think about playing ball hockey is okay. It's a nice pastime. It's a nice hobby. You keep fit, et cetera, et cetera. But this is a big deal. This tournament that Kevin was doing some commentary for. The grand prize was like, what, $10,000?
Yeah, this was a $10,000 cash prize tournament. So this game here between Brampton Midnight Express and the Octane of Quebec, they were playing for $10,000 in the eventual winner. So here you go. There's me doing some introduction.
Oh, there's the Kevin we all know and love. Yeah.
And I know you can't hear it that great on the broadcast, but it was great in the arena.
We don't need to hear you. We hear you now. We hear you enough.
Though they were unable to connect on the so here you pass play to the far blue line, and instead it went the length
That's
of the
an amazing
floor,
facility.
So has been
you know what? I've never
so
been inside there. I have to say,
Express. Never been inside Hague Bowl?
I've never been inside.
I can't tell you how many shots he so that's a cement floor that they've put kind of a plastic top on. That's what you see there, the blue. But yeah, this is the decommissioned old hockey rink.
Maybe the Bills should take up ball hockey.
And here, some great coverage. You see here the guys. Oh boy, this game it went to 3 overtimes, Lee.
3 overtimes.
Yeah.
Who ended up winning?
Quebec ended up winning this one.
Quebec, okay.
Yeah, the Quebec Octane.
Well, they win the ball hockey, but they're losing their doctors.
Yeah, apparently they are.
Yeah.
Apparently they are. So there you go. So thank you for bringing that up, Lee. It was great to be there.
That's
and teams from
all
over North America.
Neat.
They had teams in from New Jersey, from Pennsylvania, and beyond. So pretty good coverage for us.
What are the ages of these teams?
Oh, these guys are all like in their 20s.
Oh, in their 20s?
Every team might have a guy on their roster, 30 or 40
but
or whatever.
you play ball hockey as well.
Oh, yeah, I would never play this. It is extremely physical.
Not in this league.
And extremely fast. Maybe when I was in my 20s, I might be stupid enough to risk my body and my health to do stuff like this, but these guys are banging. You can see right here how physical this is.
Well, it's
and they don't wear a lot of pads.
It's like hockey, regular hockey with a ball, pretty much. It's about that physical. So, how many teams?
There were 9 teams in this tournament.
9.
And they had quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals on Sunday. We rolled in to broadcast the semifinals and the finals.
With a top prize of $10,000.
Absolutely. So this game right here.
So what did second and third, were their prizes?
I can't remember. I can't remember
But did they get anything?
I think they did, yeah. I don't remember exactly the prize money breakdown.
But $10,000 is a lot.
$10,000. These guys go to overtime. And, 3 overtimes. So you can imagine how many times people thought.
How long is an overtime period in ball hockey?
10 minutes.
10 minutes?
So you can imagine how many times people thought that, this is a $10,000 shot. Like a guy hit a crossbar. On a clean shot, hit a crossbar. You go, that's inches away from being a $10,000 shot. So pretty cool. Lee, I'm going to try and see if I can track down James to come on the program, talk about a collaboration between Toolbox Project and also Mr. Mike's. Did you want to touch on this guy here that stole the car on Niagara Street in Welland? I mean, it's a crazy story because it happened just after 7 a.m. I mean, this is daylight. The streets are busy.
Are we talking about the Shadow Auto Dealer?
Yeah, the Shadow Auto Dealer here.
Yeah, this is I highlighted this a number of days ago before Kevin and I ever had a chance to talk. This is a strange story. A break-in and vehicle theft at Shadow Auto Dealers in the early morning hours. So
now you probably can't read that.
I can't read that even a little bit, no. But here's what happened, though. There we go. I was going to kind of tell you the story.
Well, go ahead, and I'll correct you. I mean, 7:20 in the morning.
Yeah. So this dude drives up early in the morning. We're not talking the middle of the night. We're talking early in the morning. Sun is up and everything else. So he drives up in a white Nissan Sentra, I think they said it was.
Yeah, exactly.
But it had some damage done to it, if I'm correct in this. It was.
He dropped it in the Wendy's parking lot nearby. The vehicle was found with visible blood on it.
Yeah, it had
and it's
blood,
really unclear whether it was stolen.
So this guy comes up. He parks a vehicle in a Wendy's parking lot. The car, as per the Post, has blood visible on it. But then he goes next door and throws a brick or a rock or whatever it is through the window of the showroom of this auto dealer, and then goes into the dealer's premises and steals, I think they said, 6 or 7 sets of keys for cars that are on the lot. If you've ever been into an auto dealer, they usually have a great big cabinet that's under lock and key, and the keys in there correspond to whatever cars they have on their lot. So if you want to come in and take one for a test drive or whatever, they get the key and they go. Well, this guy came in, broke in through the window and took 6 sets of keys or more, and then went out and ended up stealing a car or a vehicle. What kind of car, I can't recall. But then off he goes.
Yeah, now, Lee, they actually have security footage of this guy inside.
Yeah.
So here
we saw one picture of him.
He's already smashed the window. And now he's walking in, I guess, from the offices into the shop.
Here we go, walking around, having a look-see, looking to try to find where the keys are. There they are. They're up on that little punch board on the wall. There's the keys. Let's get some of these and see if we can maybe match them to a vehicle I would like to get away in. So now he's got some keys. Let's have a look here and see if there's anything else. And, all right, okay, I guess I've got what I need, and off I go. Well, okay then.
Now, it's weird. People in the comments were suggesting that it's like an inside job, but it doesn't look like he knew where he was going. He just kind of started looking around.
No,
like as though he knew that those were the keys.
That doesn't look like it is. But anybody that's ever been in a car dealership, when you see that, you know what it is. Those are the keys to the cars in the lot. I mean, it doesn't take a Mensa man, Kevin, to figure that one out.
If only there was one around, Lee. But this guy definitely not contending for Mensa man. Although I don't think
he may be.
I think the vehicle that he took off in, I believe, was later recovered.
That's what the story says, but they haven't got this guy yet.
No, it's a string of robberies. Why is the blood on the other Nissan?
Yeah,
it's a weird
this
story.
is these things cannot be disconnected. They have to be connected. The white car, the blood on the car, abandoning the car, obviously for a reason, because he didn't want to be connected to the car, but he needed to get away somehow. So, car dealership next door. Let's break in there and see if we can get a car so we can get away. So, which he obviously does, and then it drives away. The car is abandoned. Where did they find the car? How far away?
I'd have to get into the comments.
I don't remember either. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so he drives the car a particular distance and then disappears. And as far as I know, we haven't found this guy yet. They found the stolen car, both of them. Well, they think that, but they're not sure that the Nissan with blood on it was stolen. But if it wasn't stolen, if it was this guy's car, then they know who he is. So I'm assuming that car was stolen too. I can only assume.
Now, it's
But,
weird, and
you
I mean,
know,
you never know what
assumptions
to
being what they are.
never know what to take of comments. But here's Hannah Masterson.
Yeah, Hannah says, OMG, I saw the guy driving down Woodlawn toward the 406 this morning on my way to work. He was driving a white 2014 Dodge Journey or something. No plates on it. Well, that would make sense because it's at a dealer. The lights on it were flickering on and off. It was weird. No comment. Deleted my comments.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people just knew the layout. I'm like, I don't know
Yeah.
about that. But yeah, I think they did recover the car that was stolen. Let's see if anything else has happened on 411, Lee, while we've been on the air.
Saw the foreign minister's thing.
Oh, there we are. Okay.
There we are. Hi.
Yeah, hi, everyone.
Yeah.
That's all right. So, Lee, we're having a hard time connecting with James.
That's okay.
So what I want to do is just promote what James was coming on to talk. Now, James Simons is the guy behind Toolbox Project.
Yeah, he is a tireless worker for disenfranchised gentlemen in Niagara, which has expanded because his program, the Toolbox Project, has been so successful that they are now expanding to helping out some ladies in the community as well. But the Toolbox Project started when James realized that there was a need because there were many charities, many movements, many events, fundraisers, etc., to support disenfranchised women in our community, and rightfully so. But he recognized a need in the fact that there were a lot of men that needed such support as well, and there didn't seem to be quite as much going on to support the men in need in our community, and he started the Toolbox Project as a result of that a number of years ago, and we've had James on the program, James Simons, numerous times, and you can follow him on Facebook, etc., and it's just a wonderful work he does. And this is the latest event, is the upshot of what we're doing here. There is a Giving Tuesday at Mr. Mike's in St. Catharines. So you can join us there November the 18th from 5 until 8 p.m. for Giving Tuesday at Mr. Mike's. How does the details of this event work, Kevin? I'm not quite sure.
So between the hours of 5 and 8 p.m., 10% of all sales are going to be donated directly to Toolbox Project.
There we go.
So if you're looking for a way to support Toolbox Project and, of course, get a great meal here in Niagara, slide by. I put the map up there. If you don't know, Mr. Mike's is right on 4th Ave.
On 4th Ave, yeah.
Out by the hospital in that area, right by Princess Auto, in the same parking lot there. That's where you find Mr. Mike's. So next Tuesday.
A really nice, reasonably priced steakhouse in St. Catharines. If you've never tried it out, by all means, give it a shot. I've been there. It's a great spot. And if you're going to go, you might as well go on Tuesday, the 18th, where 10% of everything you spend is going to support this fabulous project, driven again by James Simons. He's just a tireless worker, and I know that the phrase is perhaps overused, but in this case, it's absolutely accurate. I want to thank, again, our sponsors while we have a moment. Our headline sponsor that brings you this program proudly every week, locally owned, genuinely Canadian, Grantham Home Hardware. Thank you so much, guys, for being a part of this. Their staff is always so friendly. I get there probably maybe once every couple of weeks to do something. It's about as close to the old style community hardware store that you're going to get. And I mean, I remember going to a hardware store with my dad where they had like bulk screws and nuts and bolts and stuff. And it's not exactly like that now, but it has that same sort of feel to it. And Jake and Rob, thank you for continuing to operate such a community-friendly organization like Grantham Home Hardware, and thanks for being part of our show. The Niagara Parks Commission, 56 kilometers of Niagara Parkway and all of the attractions that go along with it. The Niagara Parks Commission is a self-financed agency. A lot of people kind of lose sight of the fact that it is not a taxpayer-supported initiative. Your tax dollars don't pay for the Niagara Parks. It's a self-financed agency of the Ontario Ministry of Tourism, Cultural and Gaming, from Fort Erie to way beyond up on the other side. And don't forget the Niagara Falls Festival of Lights, which is spectacular, is coming up very, very
Yeah, it looks like it kicks
soon.
off on Saturday.
This Saturday already?
Well, if today's the 12th, I think it said there in this little video that it kicks off on the 15th. They usually do that with a big celebration.
Yeah.
Here, let's watch the beginning here. There you go, November 15th
Yeah.
through January 4th. So that would be Saturday. They kick off Winter Festival of Lights.
Oh, they do a great job. It's really, and it gets just a little bit more impressive every year. Because, as you know, you learn from things. If we just did that little tweak there, it would make it, so they do that every year. It's just awesome. Vera Wellness Psychotherapy Services here in Niagara. They offer a holistic trauma-informed approach to therapy, focusing on helping clients rediscover themselves and navigate life's challenges with resilience. And this is a nice rhetorical way of saying, if you are concerned, if you are bothered, if you are depressed, if you have issues going on in your family that bother you, things that you need to be able to fix that you may not be able to handle on your own. That's a nice flowery way to say, if you are suffering somehow, these people can help you. In particular, Mika Matthews, who is the licensed psychotherapist that is the founder and the principal of Vera Wellness, and we're very, very happy to have them part of the program because it's a growing issue in our society as life gets more complicated on so many different levels. It's important that you acknowledge the fact that you need help. We talked with Valerie Catharine earlier about a life of addiction and mental stress, et cetera, and how important it is and it was for her to feel better and get better and be well and live well, and nothing could be more important. So if you feel, and most people can't do it on their own, check out Vera Wellness, okay? Ace Alignment, been with us for quite some time. Janice Pretty, the owner-operator, been around a long, long time in Niagara and associated with her family out at Merrittville Speedway and so many things automotive in the area. But Ace Alignment located on North Street, just behind the police station that's located on Welland Avenue, just off Geneva Street over here. Great work. I mean, anything vehicle-wise, anything automotive, they got it covered for you. Head mechanic Darren Miller, senior mechanic Matt Crompton, Ace Alignment. Small operation, big in service and expertise, trust me. Verge Insurance Group, home, life, auto, business insurance, broker services. In business since 1953. Mark Shirk and the gang obviously doing something right, been around a while. Located over on Ontario Street, just not far from Montebello Park, right downtown, St. Catharines. And of course, Mac Outpost. These guys, I run out of superlatives, to be perfectly honest, Kevin. We like to promote our sponsors, but there really is only one thing to say. For everything Apple in Niagara, Mac Outpost is the place. And that's a great name for it, too, because you think of Outpost. Remember, now the company no longer exists, but Hudson's Bay Company. Remember Hudson's Bay Company? Of course you do. Well, the original name of that organization was the Hudson's Bay Outpost, and it was located on Hudson's Bay. And the trappers and the voyagers and the fishers and the hunters and trappers, etc., used to use the original Hudson Bay Outpost as a place to get what they needed, get their supplies, get some rest, get some food, get some everything that they could possibly need was there at the outpost. Hence my reference to what a perfect name for this, because everything Apple is at the outpost. Mac Outpost. There's absolutely no other place that you need to go. Apple authorized reseller and service provider located in St. Catharines came on board as a sponsor of ours, and I always lose track of time. I'm terrible at judging age and I'm terrible at judging time, but I know it was probably almost a year ago now, Kevin. that Sean, the owner, said, yeah, hey, we can do that. We'd love to be able to support that, considering the fact that just about every piece of technology we have around us right now is Apple related or Apple powered. Lake Street, north end of St. Catharines, Dollar Tree Plaza, where the Tim Hortons is, across from Don's Lighting. Like I said, north end. There's no place else you ever need to go when it comes to Apple. Now, as you can see, we have, well, not exactly a lovely day, but at least it's not pounding down snow like it was over the last couple of days. Kevin, you had a lot of snow at the Niagara Falls Remembrance Day ceremony.
We did. I think Niagara Falls.
Wow.
Niagara Falls got hit probably the worst with that snow event than the other parts of the Niagara region.
Yeah, crazy.
So,
anyway, we have
there's a title nobody wants.
No, but it was. I have a car that I usually put away for the winter time, and it's never seen snow before. It's sitting in my driveway right now and had snow all over it. I thought, ooh, what a terrible look that is. But anyway, we get that figured out. That's my first world problem. We have a musical guest to play us off the stage. We actually every time we do this show, we have some artist to, as I say, play us off the stage. It goes back to an old reference back in the vaudeville days when they used to do comedy and all that kind of stuff, and there was always a musical act. And to play us off the stage as we exit stage right, we have this musical act. Well, that's what we do here. Niagara Farm 101 Live with Lee Sterry. It gives us an opportunity to highlight Niagara talent, of which there is much here. Very, very deep pool of talent we have here in Niagara. This time it's the Mandevilles. And the name of the song, video, is called Lost Days.
Now, Lee, I just want to give you a little backgrounder on this. It was just released a couple of weeks ago, and It's all part of a collaborative effort called Carry Me Home. And they say it's a recording project featuring Niagara songwriters and musicians performing their original songs live off the floor at different locations around the Niagara region.
Cool.
It was all put together by My Stage Media and funded by the City of Niagara Falls. So thank you very much. So here they are at, I think, the Local.
Yeah.
Is that a bar in Niagara Falls?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it's Serena Prine, I know that from Mandevilles. I don't think it's the whole outfit, but it's a song called
Lost Days.
Yeah, Lost Days.
Before we get there, I just want to mention, coming up, and we're going to be doing a couple shows on this, I'm sure, is I saw a promotion on network television and international network television as well. The Niagara Film Festival is becoming a bigger and bigger and bigger event here in Niagara. It's really grown. So congratulations to the organizer, and it's coming up in the not too distant future. Anyway, Lost Days by the Mandevilles. Thank you all for being here. Grantham Home Hardware, Niagara Parks, Barrow Wellness, Ace Alignment, Virgin Insurance, Mac Outpost, Kevin Jack, always a pleasure to have you on my side. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Enjoy the show and the song.
Audio's rolling. Mandevilles.
Lost days go by, all the while adore you. Lost days go by. You're the world in violet, crying alone. Lost days, lost in mine. Where do I belong? Lost days go by, all the while adore you. My whole wide-eyed adolescence through. True blue devoted, walking on it. Never the kind to run wild, always be there. Lost days go by, all the while adore you. My whole wide-eyed adolescence sings through. All one in a life goes right, fade into you. Lost days go by, all the while adore you. Maybe in another life we could be cool for a while. Oh, one in a life goes right, fade into you. Yeah, one in a life goes right, fade into you. Lost days go by, all the while adore you. Lost days go